My child, stop, just for this moment. Stop. I know you are always moving, always thinking, always carrying. But right now, right here, I am asking you to simply be still, not because the world has stopped turning, but because I am speaking. And what I am about to say is the very thing your soul has been starving for. You do not realize how tired you really are, do you? You think this exhaustion is normal? You think the heaviness in your chest, the fog in your mind, the quiet ache behind your eyes. That is just life, but beloved, that is not life. That is the weight of carrying what I never asked you to carry. You have been trying to hold together things that were never yours to hold. You have been trying to predict tomorrow, control other people's reactions, fix situations that are already in my hands. And in the middle of all that effort, you forgot something essential. You forgot that you are a child, my child. And a child does not run the household. A child does not stay awake at night worrying about the foundation. A child rests because the father is awake. I have watched you. Every single morning you open your eyes and immediately the flood comes. What if? Why not? How will I? Should I have? The questions pile on top of you before your feet even touch the floor, and you breathe shallow, and your shoulders tighten. And somewhere deep inside, you have convinced yourself that this tension is necessary, that without it, nothing would get done, that if you relaxed, everything would fall apart. But let me ask you something. Has your worrying ever added a single hour to your life? Has your striving ever solved a problem before its time? Has your controlling ever made someone love you more? You know the answer, and yet you cannot stop, because somewhere along the way you learned a terrible lie. The lie that your value is tied to your output, that your safety depends on your awareness, that if you are not anxious, you must not care. My child, that is not faith. That is fear, wearing a mask of responsibility. And it is slowly killing the peace I died to give you. Remember David. Do you remember him? Before he was king, before he defeated Goliath, before the songs and the throne, he was just a shepherd boy, alone on a hillside, night after night, with nothing but sheep and stars. And in that silence, he learned something you have forgotten. He learned that the same God who watches over the universe also watches over one small boy with a sling. He wrote Psalms not from a palace, but from the dirt, from the quiet, from the space between fear and trust. David did not defeat the giant because he was strong. He defeated the giant because he had already learned to be still. He told Saul, "The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine. Do you see?" He did not say, "I am strong enough." He said, "My God is faithful enough. That is what I am asking you to remember today, not to try harder, but to trust deeper." You have been fighting lions in your mind that do not exist yet. You have been wrestling bears that are still miles away. And the giant you are so afraid of, the one that keeps you up at night, the one that makes your stomach drop when you think about it. I have already seen the stone that will bring it down. But you cannot see it because your hands are too full. Your mind is too loud. Your heart is too clenched. You need to let go, not of responsibility, but of the illusion that you are in control. Because you never were. And that is actually the good news. Think about Joseph, sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused, thrown into prison, forgotten by everyone he helped. If anyone had a reason to strive, to manipulate, to control, it was him. But Joseph did something extraordinary. In the pit, in Potiphar's house, in the prison cell, he rested, not because his circumstances were good, but because his God was still on the throne. He did not spend his nights plotting revenge. He did not waste his days obsessing over how to escape. He simply served wherever he was, with whatever he had. And I was working behind the scenes in ways he could not see. While he was sleeping, I was positioning the butler. While he was serving, I was preparing the dream for Pharaoh while he was being forgotten. I was remembering. And then, in one moment, in one breath, everything changed. The prisoner became the prince. The slave became the savior of nations. Not because Joseph finally tried hard enough, but because he finally stopped trying and let me be God. Do you understand what I am telling you? The breakthrough you are waiting for. It will not come from you pushing harder. It will come from you letting go, not from you figuring it out, but from you trusting that I already have. There is a reason I command you to be still. It is not a suggestion. It is not a nice idea for people with easy lives. It is a command. Because stillness is where I fight for you. Stillness is where I remind you who you are. Stillness is where the fear falls off, and the truth rushes in. But you have been running from stillness. Because in the noise, you can pretend you are in control. In the busyness, you can avoid the quiet ache in your soul. But I am calling you back, not to more work, but to more wonder, not to more presence. Consider Elijah. After the showdown on Mount Carmel, after the fire fell from heaven, after he killed the prophets of Baal, he ran. One threat from Jezebel, and the mighty prophet was hiding in a cave, afraid, alone, exhausted. And what did I do? Did I yell at him? Did I give him more instructions? Did I shame him for his fear? No. I sent an angel with bread and water, and I told him to sleep. You want to know why? Because sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is rest. Sometimes the most faithful thing you can do is stop. Because I cannot fill a cup that is already full of anxiety. I cannot speak to a heart that is already shouting with fear. I cannot lead a child who refuses to let go of the map. Elijah slept. He ate, he slept again, and only then, after he was restored, did I speak. And even then, I was not in the wind, or the earthquake, or the fire. I was in the still, small voice. Are you listening? Not the loud voice, not the urgent voice, not the voice that sounds like your mother or your boss or your own inner critic, the still, small voice. That is me. But you cannot hear it, because you have made your life so loud, so fast, so demanding, that my voice gets drowned out, not because I am not speaking, but because you are not listening. You say you want direction, but you never stop moving long enough to receive it. You say you want peace, but you check your phone before you even thank me for the morning. You say you want to know my will, but you have not spent 5 minutes in silence just to hear my heartbeat. This is not an accident. The enemy does not need you to commit some huge sin. He just needs you to be distracted. He does not need you to abandon your faith. He just needs you to forget to be still. Because a distracted child, a busy child, a tired child is a child who cannot hear. And a child who cannot hear cannot follow. And a child who cannot follow wanders and wanders until they look up and realize they have no idea where they are. Is that you today? Did you wake up somewhere you never meant to be? Did you take a turn you never saw coming? Are you looking around your life, your marriage, your career, your heart, and wondering, how did I get here? I will tell you how. Slowly, suddenly, one small decision at a time. You stopped listening, not in a dramatic way. You just got busy. You just got tired. You just assumed you knew the way, and now you are lost. But here is the beautiful truth. You are not lost because you are bad. You are lost because you stopped being still. And you are only one moment of stillness away from hearing my voice again. Only one deep breath away from feeling my hand. Only one surrendered hour away from seeing the path. I am not angry at you for wandering. I am calling you back, gently, patiently, relentlessly. Like the father of the prodigal son, I have been standing on the road, watching, waiting, my arms open. Not with a lecture, but with a robe and a ring and a feast. Because you are not a hired hand. You are my child, and children get grace. Children get second chances. Children get love that has nothing to do with their performance. You have been performing for so long. For parents who could never be pleased. For bosses who never said well done. For a world that always wants more. For a mirror that never stops criticizing. But I am not the world. I am not your past. I am not your inner critic. I am love. Pure love. Unconditional love. Love that saw every mistake you would ever make and still chose you. Love that knew every time you would ignore me and still died for you. Love that watches you struggle and strive and fail and still whispers, "Come home. Rest. Be still." Do you remember Moses? He spent 40 years in the desert, thinking he was done, thinking his story was over. He had killed a man, fled Egypt, lost his status, his power, his future. He was just a shepherd, tending sheep that did not even belong to him. And then, one day, he saw a burning bush. But here is what you need to understand. The bush was burning long before Moses stopped to look. I had been there, on fire, glorious, waiting for how long? Days? Weeks? How many shepherds walked past that bush? How many people saw a strange light and kept walking because they were too busy, too tired, too distracted? But Moses turned aside. He said, "I will go over and see this strange sight." And in that moment of stillness, in that moment of curiosity, in that moment of stopping, everything changed. I spoke. I told him my name. I gave him my mission. I changed the course of history, all because one man, in the middle of his ordinary day, took a moment to be still. Your burning bush is right in front of you, the answer you need, the direction you have been praying for, the healing you have been begging for. It is right there, but you keep walking past it. Because you are in a hurry, because you have somewhere to be, because your mind is already on the next thing. Slow down, please, for your own soul. I am not in the hurry. I am not impressed by your busyness. I am not proud of your exhaustion. I am grieved by it. Because I made you for rest. I made you for Sabbath. 6 days you labor, but the seventh is for us, for stillness, for remembering, for breathing. You have ignored the Sabbath, not just the day, but the rhythm. You have worked through your rest. You have worried through your worship. You have scrolled through your silence, and your soul is paying the price. But it is not too late. It is never too late with me. I am the God of new beginnings, of second chances, of do-overs and restorations. The same power that raised Jesus from the dead is available to raise your tired heart, to raise your dead dreams, to raise your broken relationships. But you have to stop trying to resurrect yourself. You have to let me do what only I can do. And that starts with being still, not doing, being. Just being loved, being held, being safe. Do you remember when you were a child, how you would fall asleep in a parent's arms? No strategy, no plan, no to-do list. Just trust, just surrender, just the simple, quiet peace of knowing you were safe. That is what I am offering you right now, that kind of rest, that kind of safety, that kind of love. But you have to take it. You have to choose it. You have to stop fighting long enough to receive it. I know you are afraid. I know you think that if you let go, everything will fall apart. But what if letting go is exactly what holds everything together? What if your striving is actually making things worse? What if your controlling is pushing away the very things you are trying to keep? I have seen it time and time again, my children, clutching so tightly that their hands cramp, holding on to relationships, careers, plans, dreams, with white knuckles and desperate hearts. And all the while, I am standing right there, saying, "Give it to me. Trust me, I have something better." But you cannot receive something better. With hands that are already full, you have to open your palms. You have to loosen your grip. You have to let go, and that feels like death. Because in a way, it is. It is the death of your illusion of control. It is the death of your self-reliance. It is the death of your need to understand everything. But I am asking you to trust me, that on the other side of that death is resurrection. The same way a seed has to fall into the ground and die. Before it can become a tree, your plans have to die. Before my plans can grow, your way has to end. Before my way can begin, your control has to crumble. Before my peace can take over, I know this is hard. I know you are scared. I know you have been hurt before by people you trusted, by leaders who failed you, by love that let you down. But I am not them. I cannot fail. I cannot lie. I am the faithful one, the consistent one, the one who has been pursuing you since before you took your first breath. Do you remember Samuel? As a boy, he was sleeping in the temple, and I called his name once, twice, 3 times. He did not recognize my voice at first. He thought it was Eli. The priest, he had to be taught how to listen. He had to be told what to say. Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. That is what I am teaching you today. How to listen, how to recognize my voice, how to stop assuming it is someone else, something else, some other demand, some other obligation, some other fear. Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. Not speaking, not planning, not worrying. Listening. Can you do that? Can you just listen? For 5 minutes, for 10, for 1 hour, can you put down the phone, turn off the noise, close the door, and simply, quietly, wait? I promise you, if you do, you will hear me, not audibly, not like a thunderclap, but deeper than that, in your chest, in your gut, in that quiet space behind your thoughts. I will speak, and what I say will not be complicated. It will not be confusing. It will not be fearful. I will say, you are loved, you are mine, you are safe. I will say, rest here, trust me, let go. And if there is more, if there is direction, if there is correction, if there is wisdom, it will come gently, like a stream, not a flood, like a whisper, not a shout. Because I am not trying to overwhelm you, I am trying to woo you, to draw you, to love you into peace. You have been running from me, not because you are rebellious, but because you are ashamed. You think you have wandered too far, made too many mistakes, stayed away too long. But let me tell you something about my love. It is not intimidated by your sin. It is not exhausted by your failures. It is not shocked by your struggles. I know everything, every dark thought, every selfish decision, every moment of weakness. And I love you anyway, not in spite of those things, but through them. Because my love is not based on your behavior. It is based on my character. I am love, so I cannot stop loving. I cannot stop pursuing. I cannot stop calling even now, even here, even after everything. I am whispering your name. Come home. Be still. Rest. Do you remember Peter, the disciple who denied me 3 times, after promising he never would, after swearing his loyalty, after cutting off a man's ear to defend me? He failed, spectacularly, publicly, painfully. And what did I do? Did I shame him? Did I reject him? Did I tell him he was no longer useful? No. After I rose from the dead, I sent an angel to the women, and I gave them a specific message. Go tell his disciples. And Peter, I said Peter by name. I wanted him to know that his failure did not define him, that his denial did not disqualify him, that his weakness did not frighten me. And later, on the beach, over breakfast, I asked him 3 times, do you love me? Not to hurt him, but to heal him. 3 denials, 3 declarations of love. Peter, do you love me? Yes, Lord. Feed my sheep. Do you love me? Yes, Lord. Tend my lambs. Do you love me? Lord, you know all things. You know I love you. Feed my sheep. And Peter was restored. Not because he earned it, but because I am gracious. That is who I am. That is what I do. I restore, I redeem, I rebuild. No matter how many times you have fallen, no matter how many times you have denied me with your actions, no matter how many times you have chosen fear over faith, I am still saying your name. And I am inviting you back to the beach, to breakfast, to restoration. But you have to stop running. You have to stop hiding. You have to stop pretending you are fine. You are not fine. And that is okay. I did not come for the healthy. I came for the sick. I did not come for the righteous. I came for the sinners. I did not come for those who have it all together. I came for the ones who are falling apart, so fall apart, right here, in my presence. Let the tears come, let the questions come, let the honest, ugly, raw, unfiltered truth come. I can handle it. I have broad shoulders and a gentle heart. Tell me you are angry. Tell me you are confused. Tell me you are tired of waiting. Tell me you are doubting. I am not threatened by your honesty. I am invited by it, because honesty is intimacy, and intimacy is what I have wanted with you all along. Not your religious performance, not your polished prayers, not your perfect attendance. Just you, the real you, the tired you, the scared you, the struggling you. That is the you I love. That is the you I died for. That is the you I am speaking to right now. So take a breath, a deep one, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And feel me. Feel the peace that has nothing to do with your circumstances. Feel the love that has nothing to do with your performance. Feel the safety that has nothing to do with your control. I am here. I have always been here. I will always be here. Before the mountains were born, before the earth was formed. From everlasting to everlasting, I am God. And I am yours. And you are mine. Nothing can change that. Not your past, not your failures, not your doubts, not your fears, not the voices that tell you you are not enough, not the memories that haunt you, not the future that scares you. I am bigger than all of it, and I am holding you right now, in this moment. You are safe. You are seen. You are loved. You do not have to strive anymore. You do not have to prove anything anymore. You do not have to earn what I have already given. Rest, just rest. In my love, in my grace, in my presence. Let the tension leave your shoulders. Let the worry leave your mind. Let the fear leave your heart. I am fighting for you. I am working on your behalf. I am preparing a place for you, and I am preparing you for that place. But you have to trust the process. You have to trust me, and trust begins when striving ends. So end it. Right now, say it with me, not in your voice, but in your heart. I let go. I surrender. I trust you, not because I understand, but because you are worthy, not because I can see the outcome, but because you see it, and you are good, and you are for me, and you are with me, and that is enough. That has always been enough. That will always be enough. You are not alone. You have never been alone, even in your darkest moments. When you felt abandoned, when you felt forgotten, when you felt like no one saw your pain, I was there, carrying you, even when you did not know my name. Even when you cursed my name, even when you doubted my existence, I was there, weeping with you, holding you, carrying you through the fire and the flood. Because that is who I am. I am the God who sees, the God who stays, the God who saves, not because you deserve it, but because I love you, because you are my child, and I am your father. And a father does not abandon his children, not ever, not for 1 second, not for any reason. So take my hand right now in your imagination. Feel my palm, rough from the cross, strong from creation, gentle from eternity. Take my hand and let me lead you. Out of the noise, out of the chaos, out of the exhaustion, into the quiet, into the peace, into the rest. I have so much to show you, so much to do through you. But first, you must be still. You must rest. You must trust, not just today, but every day. Make stillness your habit, make quiet your rhythm, make me your first stop, not your last resort. Before you check your phone, before you turn on the news, before you make your list, be still. Before you speak, before you react, be still. Before you worry, before you fear, before you spiral, be still. And in that stillness, I will speak. And what I say will give you life. Real life. Full life. Life that does not depend on your circumstances. Life that does not crumble when things go wrong. Life that flows from my throne, straight into your heart, unending, unstoppable, unshakable. Do you want that life? Then choose stillness, choose rest, choose trust. Not as a one-time decision, but as a daily discipline. A moment-by-moment surrender, a breath-by-breath return to me, to peace, to love. You are not a machine, you are not a tool, you are not a means to an end. You are my child. And children play, children rest, children trust, children are still. So come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Not more work, not more guilt, not more shame. Rest, deep rest, true rest, lasting rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. For I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. That is my promise. Not a suggestion, not a nice idea. A promise. From the God who cannot lie, from the King who cannot fail, from the Father who cannot forget his child. So rest, my beloved, rest. Stop fighting. Stop striving. Stop controlling. I have everything under control. Everything. The things you see, and the things you understand, and the things that make no sense. I am weaving all of it, every thread, every color, every knot, into a masterpiece for your good and for my glory. You cannot see it yet, because you are too close, too tired, too scared. But one day, one glorious day, you will look back and you will see every step, every tear, every waiting moment was perfectly placed, perfectly timed, perfectly designed by a God who loves you more than you can ever imagine. Until then, be still, trust, rest. I have you. I have always had you. I will always have you. Nothing can snatch you out of my hand. Nothing, not death, not angels, not demons, not the present, not the future, not any powers, not height, not depth, not anything in all creation. Nothing. You are mine forever. And that is the end of every fear, every doubt, every anxiety, every question. You are mine, and I am yours. And we are together right now in this stillness, in this moment, in this sacred space. Do not rush away. Stay a little longer. Let this sink in. Let this heal you. Let this change you. You are loved. You are safe. You are home. Be still and know that I am God, not just the God of the universe, but your God, your Father, your peace, your rest, your everything. I love you. I love you. I love you. Now go, not in haste, not in fear, not in striving, but in peace, carrying this stillness with you into every room, every conversation, every challenge. I am with you always, to the end of the age and beyond into eternity. Rest in that, trust in that, live in that. You are free, you are whole, you are loved, now and forever.